Dark Skies News and Information coming to you live from, hell, the failed state of California, Los Angeles. As the crime rate rises, more people are victimized. People are left wondering why, who's to blame, and most importantly, do you feel safe? The laws that were passed, criminals that were released, no work for them, no place for them to go, shortage of food, fossil prices high, fossil fuel. Well, it's the end of everything, and there's no denying it now. Just look at the crime rate. All hell is breaking loose all around us. So, welcome to Dark Skies News and Information as we look at this horrible situation here in the United States and probably all around the world. You just found the number one podcast in the entire multiverse, Dark Skies News and Information. Light them if you got them. You might need them. And we'll be back in a few seconds. You know what we do. Oh, man. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're in a safe place. I hope you're praying for the ones who are not as we, journey into uncharted waters. And it's quite evident that we have entered some times that, none of us would have hoped. Where your safety is compromised. Our country is under attack. If you can look at the thumbnail, I don't know if you can look at the thumbnail if you're on Twitter, but I believe Spotify and some of the other platforms allow my thumbnails to be shown. I have a map of the crime rate and the rising of the crime rate all over the country. And you can see in the red areas, and of course California is definitely one of the areas that is, super high. And it's funny because I know California lies about their crime rate because a lot of crimes go unreported here in California in order to keep the crime rate at, a number that, seems feasible. But in reality, that is way worse. That so many people are suffering from continuous attacks, continuous robberies, theft, shoplifting, assault and battery, assault with deadly weapons, murder, kidnapping, rape. All crimes are going up. As humans have proved to be failures of any type of life. Humans are dangerous, not just dangerous to themselves, but dangerous to others. And this world is just becoming more and more dark and deviant. I'm fresh in off another attack, and my last 2 days at work, I was attacked 2 times. I guess, those are my odds, right? Considering that they've been trying to kill me and kill my family and wipe my bloodline off the face of the earth. But yeah, fresh in off another attack. Had like 2 guys come in the store, Hispanic males, and they basically was about to attack one of my coworkers who was an older woman. And She's Hispanic. She could barely speak English, and she's a beautiful person. But these guys, came in with hell in their heart, the devil in their eyes, and of course, launched an attack that I had to absorb in order for her not to, get hurt. Once again, I've been in this situation almost 70 times in less than 12 months, where guys just walk in and they find a reason to attack me. And I mean physical attacks. I have to fight for my life, just like many other Americans around the country who are peace-loving and actually pray for peace, but often are faced with, the question, should I fight? Or should I just allow the evil to happen? Or should I allow myself, to be hurt? My home was shot up. A member of my family was shot. About a month earlier, another member of my family was shot. About a month earlier, my father died. It's all been a crazy ride for me and my mission to open eyes, to lift the vibration. But sometimes it seems, kind of hopeless when you look at how dark, evil, and malevolent humans are. I see the beauty in humans. I see the ones who try, the ones who are peace-loving. But right now, they're victims. We all are victims. We're victim of an uncaring government, uncaring system, an uncaring group of Democrats that continue to pass laws to help criminals and aid criminals and illegal immigrants to come across the border and, basically attack Americans, not just at our workplace and at our small businesses, but at our homes. As homelessness used to be like downtown and by Skid Row, but now it's outside of our schools and our nurseries and our daycares, outside of our grocery stores, in our neighborhoods, right outside our homes. Government continue to lie about trying to do something about homelessness, even though homeless people have a segment that is very violent. And like I said, there's no laws. We're living in lawless times where criminals have no gun enhancements, so they can use guns on us. They can use knives on us. They can take our personal belongings. They can kill our children. They can do whatever they want to do without any type of consequences. I was attacked last night and the police just came and did a report. And like I told them, I'm surprised you're not trying to take me. Y'all always try to do something underhanded. Like the last time when our house was shot up and our family called for help and the police came in, raided us, and took our only defense. It's been hard, knowing deep in my heart I have the ability to fight, but I don't want to fight. I want to live in peace. I want my family to experience the lie, which used to be the American dream, that you can raise a family here in America safely, free of oppression, with freedom of speech, freedom from tyranny, freedom from the lies that continue to rain down upon our communities, telling us that everything is okay, even though there's millions of people on our streets. No place to go, no food to eat. And they're basically being told to just commit crimes against the people who have it. Rob the people who go to work. Harass them at work. They can't do nothing at work because if they do, they might lose their job. So challenge them to fights. Attack them. Take their stuff. Break into their vehicles. Follow them home. Home invade them. Kill them. All of these things have been on the table for a long time because our government does not give a fuck about the citizens. that they've taken our rights a long time ago and showed that they didn't give a fuck about our feelings about that. Even now, California rolling back and having mask laws. You know, the criminals that attacked me were wearing masks. Like they were scared of getting COVID. Instead, they were hiding their identities. They probably even work for the government. As the criminals that's been attacking me lately seems a little different than the criminals who have attacked me in the past. You know, motive-wise. You know, what's your motive? Why the fuck are you even here? Why are you here attacking regular people? People who don't have nothing to do with your anger. But you bring it. Why? Because it's driven. It's being driven by a demon. You know, human bodies are just hosts for demons right here in this universe. These demons drive them around like meat puppets and use them. They attack us and they try their best to disrupt us, to drag us away from the light, force us to fight for our own lives, for the lives of our loved ones. And then we just add to the violence. Because no matter how much you try to sidestep violence and evil and tyranny, it's everywhere. You're confronted with it all day, every day. Some people just ignore it. Even though it happens to someone else, they just, I hope he's okay. Or my favorite, I'm sorry that had to happen to you. When is enough enough? How many people have to die? How many people have to suffer? How much property have to be stolen? Before we just realize that, well, California is a failed state, period. But not just California. Anywhere these crime rates are rising, it's failed states. Humans cannot govern themselves. Humans cannot police themselves. Humans cannot be trusted to make their own decisions. Why? Because look at the decisions that are being made. I decide to attack innocents. I decide to rape enemies. I decide to murder. I mean, is this what we really boil down to? Maybe extinction is necessary. I've never looked at it like that, but maybe humans had their chance. Maybe for 2,000 years the humans had an opportunity to uplift their vibration, to become better. But instead, we're the worst form of life. We're a life that feeds off itself and everything that's around it. We consume all of the natural resources, never giving a fuck about nature. We don't give a fuck about each other or anything that any of the other people may stand for. I mean, if you stand for peace, they still bring violence. You stand for love, they bring hate. You stand for sight, they bring blindness. You know, you speak knowledge and truth, they come death. There is no answer. I try to save the few because the many is impossible to save, and the all is, well, not even conceivable at this point. Humans are destined for their own destruction because they're the cause of their own destruction. There's no alien invasion. There's no hidden agenda. There's no sneaky outside force that's destroying the human race. Humans are destroying themselves. With all these crimes being committed with no empathy, no thought, it's dehumanizing. When you start to look and you start to see how dark and evil people have become. The same person that might ask you for change a few seconds later is killing you. The same people you feel sorry for and you say, oh my God, this person is really struggling, I have to help them. It's the same person that would drag you behind a bush. The same person that would cut your throat. Yes, they walk around with knives. Some have guns. They all have numbers as they click together and they gang together in order to become more deadly. You believe that you're living in a world of sensibility, that people can, well, live in peace, make decisions that best, well, benefit the greater good. There is no greater good. It's only evil here. It's only darkness. And I feel sad to say these things, but these things I only say because I feel like that at this moment, we are past the crossroads. Now we're falling. We're falling into darkness. And for that, well, I feel sorry. But we're going to look deeply into some of these crimes and try to figure out where did it all go wrong. But first, we're going to take a quick break. Light them if you got them. I know I kind of sound dismal today, but just the constant attacks. Always having to fight for my life and fight for the lives of the others. It's just, it's getting tough. So let me take a quick break. I'm going to come back and, try to make sense of this. I mean, we're in a dark place. So you're listening to Dark Sky, news and information coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Hell on Earth.
Tears fill my eyes, wonder why my brother, sister had to die. I'm hell on Earth, it's hell on Earth. It's like jail, they thirst. But I live my life reckless, unforgiving. I won't stop, thank God for living. But life's a test, and I won't fail. Walk through hell, I bail. What? Won't live my life, rather be dead than in jail. Looking at me, motherfucker, just ready to fail. But I'ma win, I'ma win. Shall I begin? Shall I begin? Look at this shit that's nasty. Look at this shit they pass me. Look at the shit that they looking. They hope it's fancy. You tickle my fancy, but I won't stop. Till the day they try to pass me in and blast and they hope to smash me. I don't understand, none can pass me. I was born on top, I would die on top. Alpha Omega. Listen, dog, the saga is more than Sega. It's more than Vega, the worst of major. It comes through my heart, but my heart is the player. Mixed with an owner, California to Arizona. Rep the union, lick the step to do it. Looking at Patrick Ewing like you what you doing. I stand on the top, but never stop. Not hip hop, it's more like my life that I spent on the track. The dick rap, but they dig that I spit that. Irregular flow, I play the game irregular though. Hope to focus, the surface is nothing to notice. Look in that world. Hocus pocus and hopeless that they notice. Ready to live, ready to die. Most get nice tries. I hang them high, I flip. Expedition to expedite. To live, it hurts to die. It hurts to live, hurts to die. I look up at the sky and wonder why brother and sister had to die.
We're living in dark times. So thank you for joining Dark Skies News and Information. As we cover end times, we cover the high crime rate. And do you feel safe? Can you go to the store? Can you take your kids out? Can you get from point A to point B without somebody crashing you and shooting and killing you due to road rage? Can you find peace anywhere on earth? I mean, it's dark times that we live in, and of course we are here recording live on Spotify and iHeartRadio, Castbox. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook. We're looking at all of these crazy things that are happening around us, and we're trying to make sense of it. But to be honest with you, it's dire. I mean, I find it hard to find any hope or any light in this dark. Even though I try to be the light, but I'm constantly attacked, and eventually they will kill me. So I do this podcast with the acceptance of my own fate, that I'm willing to die to uplift the vibrations of the dark beings that exist on this planet and in this universe. I'm sorry that I feel so low, but I've given so much. I've seen so much. I've endured so much. I know that my family's life is on the line. I know that those who stay in the dark would love to have me erased. Of course, I have endured attacks. The recent attack last night, 2 Hispanic males, mid-20s. One of them hit me in the face and, of course, tried to hit me with a bottle. It's the violence that makes humans unacceptable and unworthy. I mean, if you just stop and think, the most existential question in the history of humanity is, are we alone? Well, I don't believe that we're alone. I believe that we're being kept alone, separated, because of our violent tendencies and our violent nature and our inability to find love and empathy, our inability to see the pain of others, to even want peace. Because peace is not something that's given, it's earned. I mean, we only have ourselves to blame when it comes to the decisions that we make.
Ideal that he truly believes in. He's willing to destroy the fabric of reality to bring about his vision.
It's a different time we live in, people. Our world has come to an end. And now we're witnessing a new beginning, a more darker beginning, a beginning that says that no matter how hard you try, you will fail. No matter what you believe in, it matters not. You and me have been given an opportunity. You and me have been given a place in time. I mean, are we worthy of this place in time? Is it our destiny to be here when it all ends? I don't know. I mean, I don't believe I'm going to be here when it all ends because of, whoever it is that feels like I need to be killed or silenced or blocked. I feel like that I've earned my place next to God because I believe that in my heart it's balanced. And if I'm weighed against the scales, yes, there will be darkness, but there will be light. There will be sacrifice. But most humans are caught up in some type of grand illusion. An illusion that says if you hurt people, they're not really hurt. If you kill people, they're not really dead. So you don't have to go to jail. There's no punishment. I mean, humans are stupid. They don't even follow the 10 commandments God gave them. Just 10. If your creator created you and gave you all the abilities in existence and just told you, just follow 10 rules. Don't steal, don't kill, just cool things, Nothing that seems to be out of the realm to be asked, to be asking. Like, be smart. Love, be caring, be kind, share. Instead, they compete. There's an instrument, called economy. And the economy is an instrument of control. You make money, you spend money. You don't make money, you don't have no money to spend. You don't have no money to spend, and you can't actually live. because you can't eat. You won't have shelter. You won't have garments or clothing. You won't be able to feed your family. You won't have education. You won't have the things that should come naturally, should come free, should come with your ability to gather these things. Or us working together as a family, as a community, as a town, as a village, as a city, as a state, a country, a providence, a continent, a world. We are continuously lost because we don't believe in shit. Only thing that we believe is that we should have more. Everybody, even the people who has the most, feel like, well, more is necessary. But what's truly existence? Because ask yourself, can you take these things with you? I mean, when you leave, when you die, would you have a pocket full of stones? Would you take all your jewels with you? All the land, all the women that like you, all the men that like you, all the people who look up to you, worship your kind, your so-called kindness and generosity. But is a man truly generous because he gives? Or is a man more generous if he doesn't give and if he teaches how to obtain? It was a story that said that it was a hungry man, and that hungry man, was given a fish sandwich. But then the next day, that man was hungry again. Then giving him a fish sandwich was not helpful at all. I mean, unless you can give him a fish sandwich every day. And then would one fish sandwich be, enough? It was said that man should be taken down to the river and taught how to fish. Therefore, when he get hungry, he can feed himself at any time, as long as there are fish to catch. So many things are put in these stories. And like I said, so many things are said in jest. How many hearts are beaten for the wrong reasons? How many thoughts are dark? How many people have to suffer? I often tell people I've learned a long time ago that suffering is long-lasting. There's no such thing as, like, a quick suffering. Like, he suffered for a moment. Like, huh? Because suffering for a moment basically meant that you died pretty quick. Because if he lived, then suffering would be long-lasting. Some people say suffering is eternal. Like it'll always be a part of you. Because you live in a dark universe. A universe that demands suffering. The passage through suffrage. That our brains, our hearts, our beings, our existence cannot be without suffering. That things like happiness and bliss and love and empathy and sympathy and caring really don't exist. Just constructs of a foolish human's imagination, thinking that suffering could actually end. That you could ever live without suffering. Every night I go to sleep here in California, I hear the screams of the criminally insane. Like we're in some type of mental institution. You can hear the screams at night and sometimes during the day. You see people so mentally unstable that they walk into a place with no actual connection to the place. Let's use a grocery store, for example. A crazy person walks in. They don't have no money, no home, no place to go. They're run away from everywhere that they've stopped because of their criminally insane behavior, like the destruction of personal property, the harassment of innocents, the lack of care for the elderly and the victimization of all they come in contact with. We ask ourselves, how do we get to this point? What kind of laws, LC, was put in place to create hell on earth? I mean, there are still laws, but what if somebody pull a gun on you and rob you? The police just come and take the report. They don't actually look for the shooter or the person who had the gun. After the robbery, police just show up and give a report. They don't look for the robber. Because the police even know that we're currently being invaded by people who don't even have documentation, but they commit horrible and heinous crimes all across the border states, all the way up into the, look like into the heart of the country. As crime rates continue to rise, a lot of crimes go unreported. So if you really knew the actual numbers, well, you'll understand why I say that this is hell on earth. Especially here in California, where this is the land of the lawless. This land is so lawless and so ripe for evil that evil comes from all around the world just to participate in evil actions being done here in Los Angeles, the land of hell. Hell is so awesome and beautiful to demons that they come to hell from far away. Matter of fact, more quiet and more serene and more beautiful places they'll happily leave in order to come and exist in hell. As I fought people as far away from France, Paris, France. Ended up talking to the man later. Who are you? Why am I fighting you here in America and you from Paris, France? You're homeless here in America, fighting me. And it's like, why? Who are you? Why are you laying on the ground here in Marina Del Rey and you're from Paris? And I told him it didn't make sense because isn't Paris like a tourist destination? It's like people save up money for many years just to go to Paris, France. Yet you have left France and traveled a long, tedious journey by the way of Vancouver. He said, then Toronto. Then he said, into the American country, he made it to New Orleans. Then segued all the way across the country to California. And that's where he called home now. Laying on the ground, waiting for somebody to give him something. If nobody gives him nothing, he takes stuff. Because they understand that no one's going to stop you from taking stuff here. No one's going to stop you from killing people. I mean, if you want sex, just take it. You need something, just take it. You don't even have to need it. You can just want it. My last 2 days I worked, I had people throw beers at me. One was an entire case of beer. The other one was looked like a 40-ounce bottle. I didn't know they still made 40-ounce bottles. I guess. I don't know. It's just the times we live in is absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense, and it's just beyond evil. It's evil on a level that, it's hard to fathom. I mean, I do calculations all the time because I'm one of those humans who can do complex calculations. And all the calculations that I do says that not only is crime on the rise, but there's a huge amount of crimes being unreported. Therefore, the numbers are not accurate. But even the numbers that they use are quite alarming. But if they use the actual numbers, it will be beyond alarming. We find ourselves in the middle of an invasion, a war, an attack upon our personal sovereignties. All those who believe in the lie, the American dream, are still trying to do it, right? We're still getting up and going to work only to be robbed and killed and murdered or wrecked, as so many people are driving and probably shouldn't even be on the road. Even with the high gas prices, they can afford to drive on the road enough to cause hell. It's always enough gas to go and cause hell. Because hell is not hard to cause. All you got to do is find a group of peace-loving people and, harass them, attack them, take what they got, brutalize them. And for what? I ask, to what end? If you live by these monsters that I can go and hurt any to get what I want, I can kill any to get what I want, how long does it last? Maybe it lasts for eternity. Maybe this is the universe where evil has always been accepted, always will be accepted, and that good is not acceptable. They catch you praying and that's your ass. Any type of weird situation and the government will shut down your church, tell your choirs to stop singing. Don't even talk about love, because our government passes laws to say, you got to stay 6 feet away from the people that you love. And that you can't visit them if they're elderly. That you have no say-so in the life of your children, their health, their education, their upbringing. You have no rights to anything, not to yourself. You don't own your body. It's mandated that you do certain things in order to live on this earth. When it seemed like God did enough when he created you, I always said that the human body is the perfect creation. Created by a creator. Intelligent design. You didn't just wake up with 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, a tongue. All these things work in conjunction to form a human. And there's 7.6 billion of us. At least that's what they say. It's hard to believe it, though. I mean, with the constant attacks and the constant lies and the constant things that they peddle, it's hard to believe that we're anywhere but hell. I continue to search for the light, more light, to combine with my light in order to maybe fix things, help things, maybe show the world that we're past the threshold. And now you have to just think about survival and defense. It hurts my heart to see where we are at this point, because I thought that we were better. I thought that we had a choice. And if we do have a choice, then we're a failed state. And if we don't have a choice, then, we're captives, prisoners. Either way, it's quite concerning. But what we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back, and I'm just trying to, wrap my head around the complete lack of safety that each and every one of us are living in, because our government refuses to protect us. Not only refuses to protect us, but create laws to put in place where those same ones who have become a huge threat to our existence, our culture, and our way of life can do things to us without repercussion. There's no deterrent. There's no punishment. It's just kill, 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 steal, 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 lie, lie, lie. Evil, evil, evil. Wow. Okay, let's take a quick break, and we will continue to look at this dismal situation that we call life and try to see if we can find any way to find happiness in such evil and tyranny. But for now, you're listening to Dark Skies News and Information. I'm your host, L.C. Graves, the most beleaguered.
Back in my spot, back in my crate. 15, back in what I got. Back on the 15, on the block. Back in my spot. 15, wait to see what I got. I'm back on the block. I'm back on the spot. Back on my job. Why stop? Cause I'm back on the pot. Looking at this. fuck it now. What did they call that? What did they call rap? I'm so back, so facts, so black. Here we go back. Back in the days. Not in the play cause I raised. Back in the hay. Back in the way, back in the second today. Listen to me and I'm packing today. I'm back in the game cause I'm rapping today. I'm back in the sizzling. Back as I'm sizzling. Look at me grizzling. Just like I'm drizzling. Drip. Never slip. I'm back in this. Never do I slip back on the shit. Niggas that look at me back in the shit. Niggas I know that they're never gonna win. Never get rich. But back in the game. Back on the so thick. Look at what I'm taking home. Look at what I'm taking home. Back in my spot.
You're listening to Dark Skies News and Information live from Los Angeles, California, as we live in the 2,000-year darkness of, well, who could it be? Seth? Satan? Who knows? All I know that there's so much darkness in this universe and we are in it. We continue to try to find our way through the darkness of all time. I say it's the end times, but I could be wrong, like many have been wrong many times before. Because nobody truly knows the time, the date, the hour. But our ancestors, were very smart. And they gave us the ability to see the clues. Clues that, we are reaching the final frontier. And I'm not talking about space. I'm talking about, do you have a right to exist? Do you deserve the gift that you was given? There are entities and dark spirits that, want you to reject God's gift. Walk happily into death, into destruction and extinction. I always tell people that I know that I'm on the right path because I'm constantly being attacked. It's past random when people just want to fight you all the time and don't know you, can't pick you out of a lineup. But I guess they sense your energy, sense that you're good and you have a kind and beautiful heart, that your soul is connected to the light, and you become an instant enemy, somebody that they have to kill, somebody that they have to death. Because they won't listen. So they walk up deaf ears, blind eyes, and only one mission, to destroy you. Some don't have the power. Some do. As great people who have the ability to do great things here on this planet and in this universe, choose to use it to destroy and disrupt. I often say, where are the good people? We're the ones who believe in life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. It's funny that happiness needs to be pursued, that it's not just right there, that it's not tangible. You have to pursue happiness. It's always so far away. Matter of fact, happiness is so far away that I don't even believe it's a part of this universe. That you actually have to exit this universe and go into the next universe there in order to find any form of happiness, because happiness don't exist in this universe. That's not to say that there's not moments of happiness, like when your beautiful child is born. But then the nightmare starts. You have to feed that child, to protect that child, and educate that child, and give that child the best chance of survival. While everything around you is designed to destroy that child and destroy you. Destroy anything like you, your way of life. You've been lied to and told that, that you have a chance. Even here in America, you have a chance. Even though America was built off of slavery, that wasn't much of a chance. Then even though these days we are so far away from slavery, I was just called a nigger about 50 times yesterday by a Hispanic man. And it makes me sad to think that Hispanics are so racist and hateful towards black people, because I don't remember black people ever invading Mexico or any part of South America. I don't remember black people bringing any type of pain to your culture. I don't remember black people enslaving Mexicans, destroying Mexican heritage and culture. I don't remember black people taking Mexican land. But yet Mexicans are just as racist as white people and black people and Chinese people. It's almost as if that there's a common consensus amongst all the other races that black people have to die. And the same people that are like standing up for black lives, like Black Lives Matter, the Rainbow Coalition, and all these different organizations designed to stand up for black rights, when there is no black rights. I can take you and I can show you a lot of black people who have no home, no food, no family, no friends. I can show you a lot of black people that absolutely have nothing, even though they're descended from the continent that has probably the most natural resources. You know, they have a lot of oil in Africa, a lot of diamonds, right, in Africa, right, a lot of gold in Africa. But yet African American people have absolutely nothing. You know, unless you can act, sing, perform some type of athletic wizardry, from football to basketball, baseball, boxing, fighting. But it's funny because all this is entertainment for the same ones who enslave you. And even though people know that murder is wrong and the genocide of a species and a race is wrong, it's always been acceptable for a black man to be hung, to be laid in a hole and shot by a crowd of people, to be hunted and murdered, to be poisoned. It's all been acceptable. Why? Because there's never been no court. There's never been no judge. Never been no judicial system that says, hey, y'all are murdering these people unjustly. You are wiping these people out unjustly. You don't believe me? Bring up the effort. Just think for a half a second. If you look at the map of Africa, how many countries of Africa is actually ran by Africans? Would you see any African flags, or would you see a Portugal flag? France and Germany and America and all these different places that got influence and got their flags up. You know, places like Ethiopia and Tanzania, the Congo, South Africa. What about the East Coast and the Ivory Coast and Cameroon? Last I checked, I believe Egypt is the only place. I believe Egypt is run by Egyptians. But for many years, they try to tell us that Egypt is not even a part of Africa, like we don't know our continent. We've been lied to so much. You know, there's so many myths and lies created. And they sprinkle in some truth in order for you to get some nostalgia. So you can think, well, this has got to be based in some type of real logic. That I'm going to do this to you and, you know, you're supposed to turn the other cheek. You know, if I rob you, you know, if I walk up and punch you. You know, last night I got hit in the cheek and I turned the other cheek. And it was bitter because deep in my heart, I knew that I could easily defeat this evil. But what happens is evil begets more evil. If wrong is done to you and you retaliate with wrong, then that equals two wrongs. So in other words, if wrong is done in retaliation, then it only creates more wrong. There's no right there. In this world, somebody got to be right. Somebody got to represent the light. Somebody got to believe in God, believe in God's plan. I don't think that I'm the only one, because this podcast actually reached people despite the fact that I'm being banned in the algorithm to oblivion. That all the stuff that I bring to you continues to be, well, held back. I'm actually considered a threat because I want people to have an opportunity to live. I'm considered a threat because I believe that we are more than what we're showing. We talk so much about all of these different aspects of reality: the multiverse, the Mandela effect, human consciousness, vibrations, the fundamental forces of the universe, ancient deities and ancient civilizations and their beliefs. We cover all these things in order to better understand our place. Why are we here? Who created us? Do we exist only to hurt each other? To hurt others? Is it true that we really don't have a place in the cosmos? That we're just a bunch of rogue life forms living on a planet of hell? A planet that's even getting tired of us? I don't know. All I know is that as time go by, crime rates rise. We are not, in a place where we can allow evil to just run rampant or run free. Because who suffers? Well, our children, our families, our loved ones, our friends, our community, our cities. And as we continue to be invaded by people from the outside, they have no care for the actual city, the communities. They don't have no skin in the game. If you come from so far out and you're living here in California, you don't care if you shit or piss in the street. You don't care if you attack and victimize the community. It's not your community. You don't have no community. You have no connection, not even human. You're moving and controlling the body of a human, but you're much darker, you're much more malevolent. And your connection to this world is through the body of a broken person, a broken avatar. Well, we're going to continue to do what we can while we can. But I can't tell you how much time I got left as they continue to try to bring dark to my light. But in the end, I'm LC Grace, Mikey Nice, Jim, Jennifer, Jeff, Becky, AB the leader, and all the people who, well, still believe in the human spirit, and that maybe we can save a few of us. Because that's where we at now. We only can save a few. Saving all is being out the window. We've crossed the threshold already. So let's see what we can do, y'all. Keep praying and keep bringing the light and save who you can. God is good. I'll be back.